Have you ever wondered how one man could have 6 wives and still be remembered as one of the most influential monarchs in history? Enter the world of Henry VIII, a king whose name has echoed through the centuries. Born on a summer's day in June 1491, Henry was the second son of Henry VII and Elizabeth of York. His father, the victor of the Wars of the Roses, had united the warring houses of Lancaster and York, and his mother was the daughter of the Yorkist king, Edward IV. With such a lineage, it's no surprise that Henry was destined for greatness. Brought up in the shadow of his elder brother Arthur, Henry was not initially expected to ascend the throne. But when Arthur passed away prematurely, it was Henry who was thrust into the role of the future king. He was a mere 10 years old. His father, in his wisdom, kept him secluded from the political machinations of court, ensuring he was educated and prepared for his future role. In 1509, Henry VII passed away, and Henry, at the ripe age of 17, ascended to the English throne. The young king was charismatic, athletic, and highly intelligent. He was a lover of music and the arts, a patron of scholars, and an avid sportsman. His early reign was marked by an air of optimism and promise. His subjects saw him as a beacon of hope, a young and vibrant king who would lead England into a new age of prosperity and power. But there was a shadow looming on the horizon, an issue that would come to define his reign and his life: the quest for a male heir. This quest would lead him down a path of 6 marriages, religious upheaval, and ultimately his own downfall. Henry VIII, a charismatic and athletic young king, began his reign with great promise. But his quest for a male heir would lead him down a path of 6 marriages, religious upheaval, and ultimately his own downfall. Scene script. Henry's matrimonial journey was as tumultuous as his reign, but each wife had a unique role to play in the narrative of this king's complex life. First on our parade of queens is Catherine of Aragon. She was the loyal and devoted wife who stood by Henry for over 2 decades. A Spanish princess, she brought a sense of international prestige to Henry's court. Despite their long union, her inability to produce a male heir led to the annulment of their marriage, setting in motion a chain of events that would forever change England. Then came the vivacious and captivating Anne Boleyn. Her charm won over Henry, leading him to break with the Catholic Church to wed her. Anne's influence over the king was significant, but her failure to give birth to a son and rumors of infidelity led to her execution, leaving a dark cloud over Henry's reign. The third queen, Jane Seymour, is often seen as Henry's most beloved wife. She gave him what he desired most: a son, the future Edward VI. Tragically, she died shortly after childbirth, leaving Henry heartbroken. Anne of Cleves was Henry's 4th wife. Their marriage, based on political alliance rather than love, was short-lived. Despite their annulment, they maintained a friendly relationship, with Anne being referred to as the king's beloved sister. Next is the young and vivacious Catherine Howard. Her youthful energy rejuvenated the aging king, but her alleged indiscretions led to a tragic end. Accused of adultery, she was executed, adding another layer of tragedy to Henry's marital history. Last, but certainly not least, Catherine Parr, the queen who outlived the unpredictable king. She was a guiding force in Henry's later years, helping him reconcile with his estranged daughters, Mary and Elizabeth. Each of these women, from the devoted Catherine of Aragon to the cunning Anne Boleyn, left their mark on Henry and the course of English history. Their stories serve as a testament to the turbulent and fascinating era that was Henry VIII's reign. Beyond his marital escapades, Henry's reign was marked by war and religious revolution. As a young king, Henry VIII was eager to demonstrate his military prowess. His ambitions led to conflicts with France and Scotland, 2 nations that had historically been thorns in England's side. Henry's first major military campaign was the Battle of the Spurs in 1513, where he led his troops to a decisive victory against the French. However, the cost of war was high, and despite the victory, Henry's treasury was significantly depleted. This set the stage for a pattern throughout his reign: military triumphs that came with a hefty price tag. Meanwhile, north of the border, Henry was also engaged in a series of skirmishes with Scotland, known as the Rough Wooing. These conflicts were less about territorial gains and more about securing a Scottish alliance through a proposed marriage between Henry's son Edward and the infant Mary, Queen of Scots. However, the Scots resisted, leading to a protracted and bloody conflict. But perhaps the most significant event of Henry's reign was not a battle, but a religious revolution. In 1534, in a move to secure his divorce from Catherine of Aragon, Henry broke with the Roman Catholic Church and established the Church of England, with himself as its head. This act, known as the English Reformation, had profound and lasting effects. It not only changed the religious landscape of England, but also had ripple effects across Europe, challenging the power of the Pope and paving the way for the wider Protestant Reformation. Henry's decisions in war and religion not only shaped his kingdom, but also set the stage for England's future. His military campaigns, despite their cost, helped to establish England as a formidable power in Europe. And his religious revolution, though born out of personal desire, ignited a spark that would forever change the course of religious and political history. Despite the controversy and chaos, Henry VIII left an indelible impact on England and the world. This king, known for his many wives and tumultuous reign, left a legacy that continues to influence our world today. In the realm of religion, Henry's break with the Catholic Church was a pivotal moment that changed the course of history. Frustrated by the Pope's refusal to grant him a divorce, Henry took matters into his own hands, establishing the Church of England and declaring himself its supreme head. This move not only allowed him to marry as he pleased, but also shifted the balance of power, placing the king at the center of both political and religious life in England. Henry's influence didn't stop at religion. His descendants, the Tudor dynasty, continued to shape England long after his death. His daughter Elizabeth, born to his second wife Anne Boleyn, would become one of England's most beloved monarchs. Elizabeth's reign, known as the Elizabethan era, saw England flourish in the arts, exploration, and commerce, setting the stage for the country's future as a global power. Beyond politics and religion, Henry VIII also left a significant cultural impact. His larger-than-life personality and dramatic personal life have captured the public's imagination for centuries. His story has been retold in countless books, plays, and films, making him one of the most recognizable figures in history. Henry's love for music also played a role in his legacy. An accomplished musician himself, he fostered a culture of music and arts in his court that would continue to thrive in the years following his reign. Pieces attributed to him, such as Pastime with Good Company, are still performed today, a testament to his lasting influence. In the end, Henry VIII's legacy is as complex and multifaceted as the king himself. A man of passion and power, his decisions shaped the course of English history, impacting everything from religion and politics to culture and the arts. Henry VIII, a king of many wives and many wars, remains one of history's most fascinating figures, his legacy echoing through the centuries. So who was Henry VIII? A tyrant, a reformer, a lover, or simply a man of his times? Henry VIII was a king of contradictions. He was a man of passion, marrying 6 wives in his relentless pursuit of love and a male heir. Yet his reign was also marred by brutality, with 2 of his queens meeting their end on the executioner's block. He was a warrior king, leading England into numerous wars, but he was also a catalyst for religious reformation. His break with the Catholic Church changed the course of English history, shaping the nation's identity for centuries to come. This complexity makes Henry VIII a compelling figure. His actions left a profound impact not just on his kingdom, but on the entire world. His legacy is a reminder of how one man's decisions can shape the course of history. As we delve into the annals of history, we find that Henry VIII, like all figures of the past, was a product of his time, his actions shaping and shaped by the world he lived in. And yet, his story continues to captivate us, a testament to the enduring allure of history.